Matt with Tips for Truckers over here, and today I wanted to change up the background for you guys. Got a nice view of the beautiful lake. I was out here kayaking yesterday, but it's raining today, so I'm going to do some videos. Anyway, let's get right into it. So what is this video about? This is probably, hopefully, going to be my most controversial video. I've had some in the past, but hopefully this one tops all the rest of them, because this one's about that four-letter word, guns. As a lot of my subscribers know, I carry a gun wherever it's legal when I'm not in the truck. When I'm home and I'm in Missouri, I'm always carrying a gun whenever I'm not in a federal building or a government-owned building or a hospital, wherever I can. But it's not because I'm some crazy gun nut. It's just because I can, you know. So no, this is not a political video. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a real big gun nut or anything. I just enjoy the freedom of being able to do it, and I make sure I do it in a legal, and respectful manner. I always conceal carry. I never open carry. I don't, wave my gun in your face. You'll have no idea that, that I have guns or anything if you know me. So, and I think that I should start the video off that way because, guys, we really need to be respectful of other people's wrong beliefs that guns are bad and dangerous and all this, and I'd like to start off by saying you really need to get yourself some good gun education if you're going to take some classes, if you're going to be carrying a gun and everything. And please always conceal carry. I guess, if you're out in the middle of Idaho or Wyoming, it's no big deal. But if you're in a big city, guys, please, you're not helping. You're not helping the cause or anything. You're making it worse. And I understand how you want to, throw it in people's faces and everything because they're so adamant against you owning a lot of people against you even owning a gun. But anyway, going back to the topic of carrying a gun in a truck. Now, like I said, I always conceal carry. You'll never know. I got my 1911 here, and sometimes I'll carry my 38, but you'll never know. And that's the biggest thing if you're in a truck. Don't open carry when you're in a truck. And this is what I've noticed a lot, is a lot of truck drivers will just have it here in the door pocket. Now, what people don't understand is most states, when you carry across the state line, it has to be in a passenger compartment. Now, I've done a lot of research on this, and that's the best I can get. The terminology is very vague, and I believe it's vague for a reason, so cops can have some wiggle room with arresting people over, stuff they shouldn't be arresting people over. But anyway, I'm kind of going on about that. So make sure if you carry a gun in your truck, make sure it's in a sleeper, not in your door pocket. And a big thing, a lot of states, it has to be locked, unloaded, the ammunition in a different place, and in a passenger compartment. So what I would do is, if you carry a gun on the truck, I'm not advocating for it, but if you do, I would go by the strictest state's laws and then go there everywhere. Now, the problem with that is there's a trade-off. Once you have more, you keep it in a safe and you keep it unloaded, you're not going to be able to access it as quickly. And so it's like when you're trying to make things more safe, you're actually making it more dangerous. And you got to kind of try and find a healthy balance between the two. Like I'm in Illinois right now, so I don't carry a gun, but I go to Missouri all the time, and so when I do, I always keep it in a locked safe, unloaded, and as soon as I go across that state line into Missouri, I pull over at a gas station where no one can see me. I park in the back, and I put it in my holster and everything and load it. And personally, this is just my opinion. I'll throw my opinion out there. I wish they'd get that whole has to be unloaded thing out. I mean, if you're state that decides, oh, you got to keep it in a safe or whatever in the passenger compartment, I can understand that. But the whole it has to be unloaded makes it way more dangerous. Because you saw me pull my pistol out here, but it's unloaded. Oh. It's unloaded, and I'll always keep it loaded, but I never take it out of the holster. Now for this demonstration, I unloaded it because I knew I was going to be pulling it out of the holster. But because I think it's dangerous to keep playing with your gun, unloading and loading. When you're practicing, you want to, practice loading and unloading and everything in a controlled environment. Yeah, that's one thing. But just to do it willy-nilly, I think it's dangerous. Every time you pull your gun out of your holster, you're introducing a little bit more danger to the situation. Especially if you're not well educated. Please, I stress very much, go out there, take a couple classes. If you need a refresher course, take a refresher course, because laws change, okay? And so, what's the biggest issue with carrying a gun on a truck? To me, it's going through those handful of states that have really, really strict gun laws. Now, I got a list of them. Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and California. All those states, except for Illinois, basically, if you get caught with a gun, you'll probably be going to jail. Because the way they write the laws, you probably can, but they got it written so vaguely that they'll find a reason to put you in jail if they find a out-of-state gun in your truck. And speaking of out-of-state, I would definitely recommend. Now, I'm not necessarily advocating licensed guns or unregistered guns or anything, but if you have it in your truck, please carry a registered gun and everything. I mean, that just seems common sense to me. It'll just help you out if you ever have any legal trouble. Speaking of legal trouble, I want to stress I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving any legal advice in this video. So just wanted to get that out of the way. But like I said, if you're ever in any of those 5 states, definitely keep it unloaded and locked up and everything. And then all the other states, you'll probably be fine just to put it in the safe. A lot of states, you'll be fine just keeping it in the passenger compartment. And a lot of the states, you'll be all right with just concealed carrying. But you have to look that up state to state. And I don't want to, since the gun laws changed so much, I'm not going to give you the specific state to state. I just wanted to tell you those are the 5 worst. And so, I mean, that's on you if you get caught in those 5 states. But like I said, I live right on the border of Illinois. I live in St. Louis, right on the border of Illinois and Missouri. So I got a bunch of friends and family that live in Illinois, so I don't have a choice. But you got to do what you got to do. And like I said earlier in the video, everything's a trade-off, and you're weighing out your risk. And unfortunately, I don't think it's by any coincidence, a lot of the states and cities that you'll need your gun the most, that are the most dangerous, have the strictest gun laws. So that's another thing to think about. It's really a trade-off. Where you're probably going to need your gun, you're probably going to get in a lot of trouble for having it. So keep that in mind. I hope this video was helpful. This Matt with Tips for Truckers. Have a great day. Don't forget to conceal, please.